Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let us introduce ourselves. First, my name is Ilham Muhamad Fauji and my co-presenter.
Raihan Muhammad Syekty.
And today we would like to present the research which compares online and traditional learning methods in teaching English as a foreign language or EFL with a focus on listening skills. For the first explanation, we'll present by me. Alright, let me start from a question. Can students really improve their English listening skills just by learning online? In a world where technology is transforming education, this question becomes more important than ever. The journal I'm presenting today investigates this issue. It is titled Influence of Online versus Traditional Learning on EFL Listening Skills, a blended mode classroom perspective. This study was conducted at Najran University in Saudi Arabia and involved EFL students learning English listening skills through two different teaching methods. For the first one is online and the second one is about traditional. For the first explanation, I would like to start from the problem. The main problem addressed in this research is the lack of clear understanding about how online and traditional learning impact student listening performance. Even though online learning is becoming more common, there is still limited evidence about its effectiveness in improving academic achievement, especially in listening. For the second one, to solve this problem, this study will use an experimental design with pre- and post-tests to compare the result of both learning methods. It will also explore teachers' opinions on blended learning, which combine online and traditional approaches. For the third one, previous studies have shown mixed results. Some found that online learning helped improve listening skills, while others reported that traditional classroom lead to better academic outcomes. This inconsistency shows the need for more research. The objectives of this study are: number one, to evaluate the impact of online and traditional teaching on student listening performance. Number two, to find out if there are any gender differences in student achievement. Number three, to explore teachers' views on blended learning. Based on these objectives, the research questions are: number one, how does online teaching compare to traditional teaching in improving EFL student listening skills? Number two, are there gender differences in student performance between the two methods? Number three, what are teachers' constructive and critical views on blended learning for listening skills development? Alright, for the next explanation is about review of related literature. In this section, we'll explore the theoretical frameworks that underpin the research on the influence of online versus traditional learning on EFL listening skills. The following theories are relevant to this study. Number one is blended learning theory. Blended learning integrates both online and traditional face-to-face instructional methods. According to Raihan et al. 2005, the key concept of blended learning involves the combination of different instructional modalities and the blending of various teaching approaches. This theory supports the idea that combining online and traditional methods can enhance the learning experience by leveraging the strengths of both modalities. The second one is about computer-assisted language learning, or CAL. CAL refers to the use of technology in learning instruction, which has evolved significantly since its inception in the 1960s. Levi 1997 and Amara in 2012 emphasized that CAL facilitates language learning through interactive and engaging digital resources. This theory is particularly relevant in the context of online learning, as it highlights the potential of technology to improve language acquisition, including listening skills. Maybe that's all for me. For the next explanation, will present by my co-presenter, Raihan and Syekty.
Thanks to Ilham, who has explained about research introductions and review of related. Well, on this occasion, I will explain about research method. In the research method, there is a design, research sites and participants, data collections, and data analysis. For designs, this study uses an experimental research designs with mixed method, quantitative and qualitative approach. This design focuses on testing whether online or traditional teaching has a greater impact on EFL student listening skills. For the next, explains about research sites and participants. This research is located at Najran University, Saudi Arabia, with participants 30% of undergraduate students, both male and female, and 20 teachers who teach listening skills to EFL learners. For 30% of students were divided into two groups, control and experimental groups. Control group received traditional classroom teachings, experimental group received online teaching instructions. And for the next topic is about data collections. The researchers divide two methods of data collections. First, pre-test and post-test. This test consisted of 30 questions. This was used to measure the students' listening skills before and after treatment. After the treatment. Second, semi-instructional interview conducted with 20 teachers to explore constructive and critical perspective of two learning methods. This interview provides qualitative data that complemented the quantitative results of the student test. For the next one is about data analysis. In the data analysis, there are two analyses. First, quantitative analysis used SPSS to analyze the data. Paid sample test was used to compare pre-test and post-test results. Independent sample test used to analyze gender difference. And the second is qualitative analysis. In the interview, data were thematically analyzed for constructive and critical strengths and weaknesses of each learning mode. For the next material is about research findings. The findings are presented based on the three research questions mentioned by Ilham. The answer to question number 1 is presented in the data average scores that show in the traditional method, pre-test average scores 30.10 and post-test average scores 15.57. While the online method shows the average scores of the pre-test 11.67 and the average scores of the post-test 25.57. The experimental group performed significantly better than the control group based on the post-test result. This shows that online learning can improve EFL students' listening skills effectively. To answer question number 2, based on the independent sample test, the average scores for males 15.15 and for females 16.18 were found. There was no significant difference by gender in students' academic performance between online and traditional learning. This means that the effectiveness of both modes of learning applies equal to male and female students. And to answer number 3, can be mentioned that qualitative analysis identify several advantages of online learning such as flexibility, accessibility, effective communications, collaborations, monitoring student progress, and the use of digital platforms. However, it also found disadvantages such as maintenance costs, waste of resources, difficult long-term engagement, limitations of face-to-face interactions, and potential students' demotivations. And the last one is about conclusion. Overall, the findings suggest that although online learning shows better results in improving listening skills, teachers advocate a blended learning approach that combines the benefits of both traditional and online teaching methods.
Alright everyone, maybe that's all for us. Thank you for your great attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.